I'm RJ. Welcome to the Bible But Not Boring podcast. We have Robert Morris here from last time. From part 2, yeah. So,
Shalom.
Shalom. This is part 4 of the Bible But Not Boring podcast.
Nice.
What'd you say?
I said nice. You made it this far.
We have. I'm very, very appreciative of how far you've made it. If you've made it that far, reach out to us. We don't have an email yet, but we'll put it down when we release the podcast.
Yeah, I'll put it on the bottom, like in the description or something.
Yeah. Well, anything you want to talk about before we get right in?
No, I'm just very thankful that you're feeling better. You were very sick.
Oh, yeah, I was really sick.
Yeah, went to urgent care in the ER.
Yeah.
So, that's good. Good to see that you're doing better. Pumped you full of steroids.
Yeah, really.
Now you're going to be strong like Samson.
No. Wait, strong like Samson? I don't want to get it. But anyway, so I guess we can get right in.
All right, what are we doing? Kings?
So yeah, we're reading in Kings. This is chapters 7 through 8.
Yeah, 7 and 8.
7 and 8, yep. Let's go.
Yeah, I remember it being a lot about how it was built, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think 7 is like the celebration of the temple.
Oh, okay, and then is 8 how the temple was built or something? Is that what
No,
it is?
6 and 5 is how the temple was built, I think. I think there's a little bit of like it left off in chapter 7.
I just remember talking about cedar and stuff a lot.
Yeah. Well, it did talk about cedar, I think. So, let's just get in. We'll warn you, these are really long chapters. So we're just gonna like read a little bit of it at the time,
okay.
So it's still pretty engaging.
Okay.
So let's start. Shlomo, which is Solomon, built a palace for himself, taking 13 years to finish it. For he built the house of the Lebanon, I think that's Lebanon forest, 175 feet long. That's insane.
See, this version says how many feet.
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones say cubits, I think.
Yeah. Is that how many feet? Do they turn that into cubits, or do they just use each cubit as a foot?
No, a cubit is something bigger. I'm trying to
think of a cubit is something bigger. We talked about this in part 3.
What do we do? It's First Kings, right?
Yeah.
King.
Well, he's looking that up. I'll tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a guy, and he went on a podcast called Bible But Not Boring, and he's here, and he's looking up something.
And he was very boring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why is my Bible app working?
I don't know. I was like, we were doing something with the Bible app when we were doing a pre-interview, like getting everything ready, and I was using the Bible app in the car, and it was like really hard to get.
It's like not pulling up anything.
Yeah,
like,
I remember.
Like Genesis.
I remember it said cubits. It said cubits in this. This one says feet.
Weird.
I wonder if that's the correct measurement.
I think it's pretty precise with measurements in the Bible.
Yeah. Do you think the
Kings?
I think they just used cubits as feet.
Yeah. So you look at this one says built a house of the forest of Lebanon.
Yeah,
the length thereof was 100 cubits.
So they transformed the cubits into feet. That's kind of cool.
So 100 cubits is 175 feet then?
Yeah, I guess.
And then what's the next part say? And the breadth thereof 50 cubits.
Yeah.
How many feet?
It says 87.5 feet.
Okay.
Wow. Well, that's pretty cool.
And then the height of 30 cubits.
Height of 30 cubits, okay. 7.5 feet wide, 52.5 feet high.
Interesting.
Wow. That's pretty interesting.
Well, yeah, see, and there's like the cedar beams.
I wonder how they knew what cubits were being used.
I think that was just their measurement, you know?
Yeah, maybe it said what cubits were being used in like the original translation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who wrote Kings?
I don't know. I heard Tom Bradford say that he believes it was like written like hundreds of years later.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, okay, let's keep going. And where were we? Okay, so 87.5 feet wide and 52.5 feet high, on 4 rows of cedar posts with cedar beams on the posts. It had a roof made of cedar and supported by beams, lying on 45 posts, 15 in a row. Very, very, like, describing.
Yep.
It's how old stuff is. Like, it can be appreciated, but at the same time, it can get a little annoying.
Yeah, it's like numbers when you read numbers.
Yeah.
All those.
But I mean, I have felt like, since, like, they're so described so much, maybe God wants us to rebuild the temple one day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you said something like the Tim Long guy on Jerusalem Lights, you know, and he was like with a company that like tried to rebuild temples.
No, that's the rabbi himself. That's
what he was Rabbi Beckerman?
Yeah, he was with that ministry.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I'd want to visit that someday. All the doors and doorways are rectangular and opposite each other at all 3 levels. 3 levels is 3 stories, right? I think so, right?
Mine says 3 ranks.
3 ranks? 3 stories?
Probably.
I think I'm just going to go with 3 stories. I think that makes sense. He made unless temple level 1.
Yeah, right.
He made the columned hall 87.5 feet long and 52.5 feet wide, with a columned corniced porch in front of it. He made the hall of the throne his place for dispensing justice. That is the hall of judgment. It was covered with cedar from floor to ceiling. The hall of judgment, that's kind of interesting. I'm curious about that. I wonder, like, I didn't really know what to say about that when I was writing, like, notes down and stuff.
Yeah.
I just, like, I'm curious what the hall of judgment would have been. I mean, obviously it was court, but I mean...
Mine says the porch of judgment.
The porch of judgment? I think the hall of judgment sounds better.
It sounds like the porch is like, let's go out back and we'll judge you.
Yeah. Okay. His own living quarters in the other courtyard set back from the hall were similarly designed. He also made a house like this hall for Pharaoh's daughter, whom Shlomo had taken as wife. So, if you remember, in part 2, you and me, we were discussing how he married Pharaoh's daughter.
Yeah.
I've heard that God forbidded them to ever go back to Egypt after what happened. And instead of not obeying that, he does exactly the opposite. Kind of like in last one, when we were going through Deuteronomy, and it says, like, he shouldn't go back to Egypt for more horses. He's not to have many wives for himself. He was, like, literally doing the opposite of that.
Seems like he always did the opposite.
Yeah. But, I mean, what I've said a few times, when Phil said, he was still faithful to God even though he screwed up, and that's... But, I mean, it does start deteriorating the further we read.
Sure.
All these buildings were made of expensive stone blocks, cut to measure and finished by saws on the inner surfaces, as well as the outer ones. These stones were used from the foundation to the eaves and outward from the buildings all the way to the great courtyard. The foundation was of expensive stone blocks, very large ones, stones 14 to 18 feet long. That's very large stone.
Yeah.
Above these were costly stones cut to measure in cedar wood. The surrounding great courtyard had 3 rows to cut stone and a row of cedar beams like the inner courtyard of the house of Adonai. The courtyard by the hall of the house.
I wish I could picture this better in my head.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like...
I wonder if someone's ever put that into AI and said, like, create a picture of this.
I mean, I kind of want to look up a drawing of Solomon's temple.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, like, the whole... I've seen, like, a drawing of the outside. Before, I just thought it was, like... Because, I mean, I didn't have, like, big of imagination. The first time I read through Kings, I just thought it was, like, this tiny, like, little bamboo hut.
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah. King Shlomo sent for Hiram and brought him from Zor. You remember what Hiram is,
Weird.
right?
You know what mine says?
What?
Mine says it sent and fetched Hiram out of Tyre.
Zor and Tyre. It sounds pretty different. But, I mean, they still have, like, the same, you know, like, type of, like, sounding. T and R. Interesting concept. Okay, so continuing.
15?
14. At least in the complete Jewish Bible, it's 14. He was the son of a widow from the tribe of Naphtali. but his father was from Zor, a bronze worker filled with wisdom, understanding, and skill, all kinds of bronze craftsmanship. He came to King Solomon and did all of his bronze work. Now we're at 15. I just think, like, for it to say that how good he was at bronze, he must have been really good.
Yeah, mine has like a thing where it says read 2nd Chronicles.
Okay.
3:15 to 17. Oh, it's for the next. It's for the next. It's for verse 15 because it's talking about the 2 pillars of brass.
Okay. So.
Yeah, and it's also in Chronicles.
Okay, let's talk about that. He made 2 bronze columns, each one 31.5 feet high. Each one 31.5 feet high, and 21 feet in circumference.
That's big.
Okay, how many cubits does it say it is?
He made 2 chapiters of molten brass to set upon the tops of the 5 pillars. Height of one chapiter was 5 cubits.
5 cubits.
Height of the other chapiter was 5 cubits.
Chapiter.
Chapiter?
Capital, maybe? I don't know.
Chapiter? I don't know.
I think it's capital. I don't know.
No, it's Chapiter. It's like reading a book. What chapter did you read?
Okay, so continuing from verse 16. He made 2 capitals of melted bronze to set on the top of the columns. Each capital was 8 3/4 feet high. 8 3/4 feet high. I'm guessing that's like 1 cubit.
5.
5 cubits.
That's a chapiter. Oh, that's the part that I just read.
Oh. He also made checker work nets and chained refs, 7 for the top of each capital. Yours says chapter, but mine says capital, right?
Capital.
At the end of verse 17.
Yeah, chapter.
Capital. Well, chapter is capital. Guess I was right.
Weird.
When he made the columns, he made 2 rows of 7 for the top of each capital. Chapter, whatever. When he made the columns, he made 2 rows of pomegranates to put at the top of each column around the netting, covering its capital. The capital and the columns in the hall had shapes like lilies, and were 7 feet high. As for the chapiters, capitals, on the 2 columns, there were 200 pomegranates in rows around each capital, near the molding by the netting. He erected the columns in the hall of the temple. On erecting the right column, he gave it the name Yakin. And on erecting the left column, he named it Boaz.
In the version that we were reading, it was
Yakin and Boaz, I think.
Well, then J name was something kind of funny.
Yeah, Jackin. I don't know. Jackin.
What was it?
Well, I mean, this is complete Jewish, so it's different than the American standard.
Jackin.
I always liked the complete Jewish Bible because I thought it was more accurate.
Huh, yeah. It all says Yakin or Jackin.
Jack and Yakin.
Interesting.
Let's go Jack and Yakin.
Okay, Boaz. All right.
Okay. On the top of the 2 of the columns were shaped like lilies. Thus, the work of the columns was finished.
Nice.
Okay. He made the cast metal C, circular 17.5 feet, from the rim to rim 8 3/4 feet high, and 52.5 feet in circumference. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, circumference.
Okay. Under its rim, 300 gourds encircled it in 2 rows. They were cast when the sea was cast. It rested on 12 oxen. Okay, this is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
We were talking about this. 3 looking north, 3 looking west, and 3 looking south, and 3 looking east. All their hindquarters toward the center. The sea was set on top of them. It was hand bread thick. Its rim was made of like the center of a cup, like the flower of the lily. And its capacity was 11,000 gallons. Okay.
See, mine says it contained 2,000 baths.
2,000 baths. It says 2,000. Let's see. He made the cast metal sea circular 17.5 feet rim. Okay.
Around
11. He made 10 bronze trolleys, each for 7 feet long. 2010. That's all. It's pretty different. Well, this is mixed up. Really. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So the sea. Okay. 7 feet wide. He made 10 bronze trolleys, each one 7 feet long, 7 feet wide, and 5 1/4 feet high. They were designed with panels that were set between the corner posts. And on the panels between the corner posts were lions, oxen, and Kuvim, cherub, angels. They're actually guarding.
Where's it? Which verse is the cherub?
29.
Oh, 29. I was just trying to see what mine said. Oh, cherubims. Yep.
Yeah, kind of interesting. Supposedly the cherubim have been guarding the Garden of Eden for like 5,000 years now. I don't know how long the world is.
However many years that is.
Yeah, do your own research. I have no idea. I think it's like 5,025 years because it's 3,000 BC. And then there's 3,000, and then 2025, 5,025 years is always what I thought. Not saying that's right, it just makes no sense to me. Okay, anyway. Okay. So
30?
Yeah, they're probably begging God to be on break. The corner posts about the similarly designed below the lions and oxen were refs of hammered work. Every trolley had 4 bronze wheels and bronze axles, and its 4 legs each had cast support, which were under the basin with refs next to each. The opening of the stand into which the basin was inserted was 18 inches high. The stand was round, resembling a pedestal, and it was 2.5 feet in diameter. 2.5 feet. How many cubits is that?
Which verse is that?
31, I think.
Okay. But the mouth thereof round after the work of the base 1.5 cubits.
1.5 cubits, okay. On the stand were carvings, and outside was the square. Not round, the 4 wheels were under the panels, and the axles for the wheels were attached to the trolleys. Each wheel was 2.5 feet in diameter.
1.5 cubits.
1.5 cubits. The wheels were made like chariot wheels. Their axles, rims, spokes, and hubs were all cast metal. There were 4 supports at the 4 corners of each trolley. The supports were attached to the trolley itself. In the top of the trolley was a circular support 10.5 inches high, and the trolley's corner post and panel were attached to its top. On the side of the panels and on its corner he carved Kuvim, cherub, lions, and palm trees. According to the amount of space each required with refs surrounding, according to this design, he made the 10 trolleys. All of them were cast from a single mold, so that they had the same size and shape. Well, that's a lot of symbolism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember we wrote down a note. It says...
Oh, yeah, we wrote down.
Yeah. There's probably a lot of lost symbolism in there that we don't know, right?
Oh, yeah, there's tons, because you got, anytime there's, these numbers, and there's, 7s in there, and there's 5s, and there's 10s.
That's
and
why
then, the different types of metals, the stones, the woods.
Yeah, actually, when I listen to Tom Bradford, he says some really interesting stuff about numbers in, the Bible. Not the book numbers.
Because he's, well-researched in,
yeah, he's scholarly. He doesn't miss a thing.
Well, yeah, he's well researched in what was going on during those times, so he knows, this was new and they started doing this,
Yeah,
get your phone off that, dude.
1,000 is a number because it says it's supposedly he says that it was a number that was uncountable, so high, the highest number.
Well, and then I was listening to a podcast today, and they were saying that 1,000 to a lot of people reading the Bible it was something that they would say when it meant a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and also
same thing, uncountable, a lot.
Also, 70 means an unknown number. Huh. I remember reading that somewhere in Judges on a Tom Bradford study years ago.
I'm just gonna have to start doing that. How much is that? 1,000.
Yeah. It's kind of funny.
How many ticks are there outside? 1,000.
Okay. So
what number are we on?
I think 38.
Okay.
He made 10 bronze basins. Each basin's capacity was 220 gallons and had a diameter of 7 feet. There was a basin for each of the 10 trolleys. He arranged 5 of the trolleys on the right side of the house and 5 on the left side. The seat he placed on the right side of the house toward the southeast. It's kind of funny that it says trolleys that holded 220 gallons of water. Imagine, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and then just held 220 gallons of water.
It's so weird because mine says then he made 10 layers of brass. Actually doesn't even say layer. Lavers. He made 10 lavers of brass, and one laver contained 40 baths.
40 baths. That's a lot of baths.
And how many gallons does it say? Or how
220 gallons.
Huh.
That was a little fast, but
220
220 gallons.
divided by, what did it say, 40? Weird. So they're saying that a bath is 5.5 gallons.
I think it's more.
That's like a bucket of water.
Yeah.
From like Home Depot. It's 5
Yeah,
gallons.
a 5-gallon bucket. That's like nothing.
That's the size bath we should be taking.
Yeah, I mean back then, people probably didn't have that much water.
Well, you had to like.
And
carry it by bucket.
they were probably a little bit less wasteful of water. Hiram made the ash pots, shovels, and sprinkling basins. With that, Hiram completed all the work he had done for the King Solomon in the house of Adonai. The 2 columns, Stop it!
I'm not doing it.
Why are you like laughing? Scratching. Okay. The 2 columns, the moldings of the capital on the top of the columns. The 2 nettings covering the 2 moldings of the capitals atop the columns. The 400 pomegranates for the 2 nettings, 2 rows of pomegranates for each netting to cover the moldings of the capitals atop the columns. The 10 trolleys, the 10 basins on the trolleys, the 1 sea, the 12 oxen under the sea, the ash pots, the shovels, and the sprinkling basins. All these articles that Hiram made for King Solomon in the house of Adonai were of burnished bronze. Well, maybe this was the Bronze Age.
So all the pomegranate stuff. So I looked up, like what is just a quick googly of what pomegranates meant in the Bible times.
Oh, okay. What does it say?
It means fruitfulness, or it represents fruitfulness, blessing, and prosperity.
Oh.
And they were associated with the Promised Land. The 613 commandments in the Torah, and even love and fertility. So abundance and stuff.
Fruit of the Spirit, almost?
Prosperity.
Yeah. I mean, it's still fruit, not necessarily fruit of Spirit. You're right. That's why I thought it was the fruit of the Spirit. So,
For sure.
Anything else before we continue?
No, I don't think so. Just a lot of pomegranate stuff, which is interesting. Man, a pomegranate sounds so good.
It does.
I haven't had one in a long time.
It does sound really good. The king cast them in the plain of the Yarden, in the clay ground between Sukkot and Zardan. What's Zardan? Do you know?
Zarthan? I think it's a place.
Okay. Well, Shlomo did not weigh any of these, again Solomon, weigh any of these objects because there were so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
Thus, the total weight of the bronze could not be determined.
Yeah.
Mysterious. I mean, I've heard that they've dug up walls of Solomon's temple in the old city of Jerusalem. I wonder if they've dug up any bronze.
Oh, probably.
Because, I mean, there's a lot of, stuff. There's a history of the temple that you'll hear going through Kings. I don't know if we'll continue through Kings after Solomon's reign. We might. But, the history of the temple, there's kings that, strip goods of the temple. There's kings that, try to revive the temple, but then something happens. It's an interesting history. So, I'm pretty sure we'll hear a lot of it, as we go through the Bible.
48?
Yep. Solomon made all the objects that were inside the house of Adonai. The gold altar, the table of gold on which the showbread was displayed. The menorahs, 5 on the right and 5 on the left in front of the sanctuary of pure gold. The flower lamps and tongs of gold. I feel like this sounds like it would be an eyesore.
Wait, it's like, it's a temple, man. It's like a kingdom.
It just sounds so crazy. Why is there 10 menorahs? Why do you need 10 menorahs? Why do you need...
About the 5s.
Why do you need, so many ox? Why can't you just have, 1 on each side?
I don't know.
And why does it have to be ox anyway? How are you going to get into
There's
each tub?
there's probably a bunch of symbolism in all the numbers there.
I mean, the only thing that I kind of understand about this, definitely understand, is the Ark of the Covenants.
Sure.
It's interesting.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. And they're all of pure gold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The thing is, Solomon, the Promised Land, didn't have, any, valuable resources. Nothing. Everything came from foreign places. All they had was land.
That's kind of cool to think of, yeah.
They only had, just
rocks.
land.
Rocks and dirt.
Yeah. Really, like no diamonds, not even like valuable, like desirable animals.
Yeah, they're like, welcome to Idaho.
Wow. I just can't imagine. The cups, snuffers, basins, incense, pans, and fires of pure gold. And the hinges of gold, both those for the doors of the inner house, the especially holy place, and thus for the doors of the house, that is, of the temple. Thus all the work that King Solomon did in the house of Adonai was finished. After this, Solomon brought in the gifts which David, his father, had dedicated to the silver and the gold utensils, and put them at the treasuries of the house of Adonai. So, if you may not remember from last part, you might be curious why he just put them in the treasuries.
Yeah, why?
Okay, so
So
basically Nathan the prophet,
okay.
like David really had the heart to build the temple, and God accepted that. But Nathan the prophet went to David and said, "God doesn't want you to build a temple. You have shed so much blood, and not all of it was innocent blood." So David tried to find a loophole around it, and he just got all of his stuff. He got all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And then he thought he could use it for his son to build the temple. So Solomon did what was right and didn't do that. He just put them in the treasuries.
Not so much.
Yep.
Nice.
So, that was chapter 7. I don't think that we're going to be able to make it to the next chapter today. Yeah, I think that we're just going to leave off there. We'll talk about chapter 8, because if we did chapter 8, it would probably go on for 2 hours, and we have stuff to do. I mean, we're pretty busy. So, we're just going to talk about some of the notes that we discussed. So, yeah, there was... It's interesting that they were named Jake and Boaz.
Yeah, I was looking at this trying to see if I could see anything. Which verse was that?
I feel like something in 20. Don't know off the top of my head.
In the 20s, you think?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, look at this. The 2 pillars of brass, 18 cubits high, were made of brass or bronze that was taken from the king of Zobah.
Yeah. Also, in Chronicles, I think it just like retells.
Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it does because it keeps mentioning Chronicles to like look up and cross-reference and stuff. Oh,
yeah.
Let's see, Jashin and Boaz. These names were symbolical and indicated the strength and stability, not so much the material of the temple, for they were destroyed along with it, as of the spiritual kingdom of God, which was embodied in the temple.
Oh, okay, so there's the answer. Do you know what those mean, though? What those words mean?
I don't. This doesn't have like a thing for me to look at. I don't have the not the concordance, but the...
Yeah.
Man, I can't even think of what that's called. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you guys have anything interesting about this podcast, comment on Spotify or on YouTube, or reach out to us when we have an email. So, I really appreciate you all for listening, and I think that's all. Bye.
Bye.
Sorry, guys. We forgot to do the questions. He's gone now. But I thank you all for listening. And, I mean, we do have a lot of questions, throughout this episode. Just, think about, all this symbolism. What do you think it means? Do your research. Just think about it. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and goodbye.